2012, several sign companies met in this library, in this elementary school, to discuss putting graphics on the wall. I said, man, I'm going to get this job. I want to motivate these children with images on these walls every day for years to come. So I went home with this question in mind. What does it take to inspire teachers with the entire process of transforming students that come in here that can't read 15 words and leave as fifth graders who have an endless supply of vocabulary because of the principles they've learned? So I asked myself, what would inspire teachers and what would it take to transform students? So we began to compile images that we thought would do that. And the first image was just images of excited children doing things, happy, giving them a vision just to graduate from high school. 32.7% of all children who enter elementary school in Spartanburg County never graduate from high school. Let's give them a dream. Since 32.7% of children in Spartanburg County never graduate, what gives them inspiration to do their best today and just stay in school for another day? Are we going to inspire them with buildings or visions of going to college necessarily? Or are we going to inspire them with images and words that captivate the imagination? Well, as I went home and began to work on that project, I spent about 40 hours that week looking for those things that would transform a student. And as I began to collect these images, I said, wait a minute, I got to prove that they're valid, that they're true, and I began to put stories with them. Let me give you the first image. As children would enter this school every day, above a wall, I was going to have an image of the top of a back of a child's head. You just see his head from, neck up. And above that image, it would just say, I need a teacher. And below that image, real small, it would just say, I'll choose carefully. Over on the left side, there was going to be school sucks in graffiti spelt incorrectly, a boy with a television screen about 6 inches from his nose, just some thugs hanging out on a corner. Over on the right side was going to be a very excited adult teaching a young boy how to swing a bat and a lady teaching a child how to play a musical instrument. And then there was a man in front of his class all excited as he was explaining the science project. And I thought, man, that's it. When these children come here, what they primarily need is a teacher and one that they will choose. And which one are they going to choose every day? So anyway, in this original sign project, I was going to create 8 images down the hall, and they came out to be 8 T's. I need a teacher who will transmit the terms and the techniques along with the tricks of the trade, and through time it'll transform my thinking. So I had 8 or 9 images that I was going to develop around these T's. Well, as I began to put stories with these images, I ended up writing a book, 21 T's to Transformation. How do I move from here to there? And I thought, what better way to introduce this book to you than just to read the first chapter. Chapter A is teacher. I need a teacher. And with that, I'll share these brief words. A gentle wind blows across the Denny's parking lot. The cool breeze sweeps fallen leaves to the curb, and I zip my coat to protect myself from the chill. Sometimes in an unplanned moment like this, the ordinary can become transformational. As I chat with 3 other businessmen, I realize they are nothing like me. They are from varied educational, social, and financial backgrounds. Paul makes in excess of $1 million a year. The others earn $400,000, $100,000, and $15,000. We're in a school. The first class is about to begin. I think that's bell for class 1. Back to reading. As we prepare to leave, Paul asked me, "What language do you speak?" "English," I say without a thought. What a lame question for such a well-informed man. "How did you learn English?" Paul asked. "My family speaks English. I grew up around it." Then Paul asked what seems to be another unnecessary question. "What types of foods do you eat? Chicken, roast beef, potatoes, grits, and eggs, the normal stuff. How did you learn to enjoy those foods?" I don't understand the purpose of this pop quiz, but answer nonetheless. Again, I'd have to say I grew up around it. Paul isn't distracted by the cars pulling in and out of the parking lot. His complete focus is on me. Our eyes lock as he asks me the question. "How do you make $1 million a year?" "I wish I knew," I respond with a chuckle. Paul smiles. "But you do know. You just told me twice." "Come on. Learning English and eating chicken have nothing to do with making money." Paul looks over his glasses, again locking eyes with mine. "I understood you to say you associated with people who speak English and eat chicken. Then, with little to no effort, you said you learned their vocabulary and to enjoy their foods." "Yeah, but..." As I struggle for the words, Paul gently asked, "Correct?" "Yes," I respond as my face turns red. We are almost detached from the other men. Paul and I are suspended in a moment as he continues with the skill and precision of a brain surgeon. He asked, if you were to associate with people who make $1 million a year, do you think you could learn to make money just like you learned English? The chilling breeze stops, and in the stillness of the moment, the leaves lay still beside the curb. I am calm, almost warm. We have nothing more to say, so we depart for our respective homes. A glance back to focus on the future. Paul gave me direction for my future by pointing to my past. That cool fall evening found me between jobs. I was unemployed with a wife and 3 sons. Prior to that, I'd accepted a job designed to last 1 year. The job allowed us an opportunity to live on Antigua in the Caribbean. But the year ended and I was back in the States looking for direction, another job, and cash. I was looking for another job until that encounter with Paul. After that conversation, I quit looking for a job and started looking for a teacher. Since birth, my family, associations, and the books I read influenced my destiny. For the most part, that influence came without my consent. I never planned to speak English. I was just present as the attitudes, behavior, and communication, ABC, patterns of my teachers were becoming mine. When people spoke, used an electric blender, or hit their finger with a hammer, I was being transformed. In every way, I was without a doubt becoming like my teachers. How to start moving from here to there. As I reflected on that evening, I realized I was in that parking lot because of a simple invitation from a business colleague. Would you like to meet my friend Paul? It was just a 20-second phone conversation that just happened to transform my destiny. Sometimes my teachers were there day after day like my parents. Other times they came through an invitation like this one. Almost without consent, transformation was taking place on a regular basis. Paul showed me that if I wanted to be transformed into a plumber, all I had to do was spend time with plumbers, read plumbers' books, master the use of plumbers' terms and tools, and soon I would be a plumber. It would happen as you would expect if I remained under the teacher's influence. From that moment, I was determined to select my teachers and those I allowed to influence my life with care. The books I'd read, the people I would associate with, and the TV personalities I permitted into my airspace were taking me somewhere. They were going to potentially determine what new language I would speak. Chapter G training. Meeting an unknown receptionist and having a 45-second discussion about career tracks might change my future. Chapter L trade. Even if it was just a 21-second phone call or a 30-second radio ad, I was going to consider the potential consequences. A brief conversation could influence where my energy, time, and money would go for years. I needed to be active in choosing my teachers. Chapter U. Test 1. John Wooden, basketball coach and mentor, repeated this poem in a speech he delivered. No written word or spoken plea can teach our youth what they should be, nor all the books on all the shelves, but what the teachers are themselves. Author unknown. Phil Driscoll is a world-class trumpet player, composer, and Grammy Award-winning performer. He understands the power of a teacher. His son told him he wanted to learn to play the trumpet. Phil told him, "You were born into the right family." Does this principle apply to everything? Learning a new language, enjoying a career or certain foods, even developing a new business? Can traits we pick up along the way be attributed to being around a good or not so good teacher? Finding the right teacher is the key to being transformed into whatever you want to become. Please allow me to repeat myself. After that conversation with Paul, I quit looking for a job and started looking for a teacher. So I leave you with 2 questions. Where do you want to go? Who has the experience to show you how to get there? Ladies and gentlemen, that's chapter A of 21 T's to Transformation. The other 20 T's you can look up on our website, how we start with a process from a teacher who will transmit the terms and the techniques all the way through to where that person becomes a teacher and can pass the test that life throws them every day. We look forward to maybe developing graphics for your corporate or educational facility. We love to do that. We'd love to have you enjoy this book and be a part of a transformational, see a transformation in your own life. And we'd also love to come and share this story with your employees, your staff, and be a part of your transformational story where you become and move to what you want to become and what you want to move to. Have a great day.